And greetings from downtown Tulsa and ONEOK Field as we are set for a Thursday night contest between Tulsa and St. Louis FC. Welcome in everyone to downtown Tulsa. You see the beautiful backdrop there to ONEOK Field as we have the match tonight between two teams that are trying to solidify their spot in playoff position. One out of the Eastern Conference and one out of the Western Conference in the Tulsa Roughnecks. There you see the standings and the overall record, 6-8-5 for St. Louis coming into tonight, 8-9-2 for the Tulsa Roughnecks on this 2017 season. Western Conference, there's the look. The Roughnecks hanging on in that 8th spot, tied in points with Orange County and Phoenix, along with Rio Grande Valley, Seattle, all there within striking distance. Now the energy there in number 7 have 2 games in hand over the Roughnecks, and the black and gold derby between those two teams will take place, the second version, on Saturday night here at ONEOK Field. So the Roughnecks there in 8th position. They're in the Western Conference. The Real Monarchs still leading the way. They are 7 points clear of San Antonio, with Swope in 3rd and Reno 1868, who both of us have been extremely impressed with so far on the season and feel like that they can play with anybody in any conference. I am Jeremy Poplin, joined by Dave Saunders as we get set to bring you tonight's game. And Dave, 2 very important games here on the Roughnecks side as you see the Eastern Conference standings with St. Louis there in 13th. But on the Tulsa side, 2 very important games. Tonight, St. Louis, Saturday against Oklahoma City. Because when you look at the Roughnecks schedule, they go on the road after this stretch of home games, and they are not back here in this position at ONEOK Field until the middle of September. It's a lengthy journey and road trip that the Roughnecks will go on, which is why 6 points are so valuable here this evening.
Indeed, they are. Good evening to everybody, wherever you are watching our broadcast from. Welcome in, as Pop has said, to beautiful downtown Tulsa. And I could not agree with you more, Pop. I think the important thing, though, tonight is that they only concentrate on tonight. It's very, very easy, isn't it, as we're all getting excited for Saturday. But as any good coach will say, we take one game at a time. And there's 3 points up for grabs tonight. There's another 3 up for grabs on Saturday. But let's concentrate on the game in hand. As you say, an important game for both teams. I mean, St. Louis, if they win tonight, I think can go into the playoff places, because this is the only game, I think, in the USL, if I'm not mistaken. And then for the Roughnecks, as you say, it's all bunched up around them. They've got to get something out of these 2 games. So 3 points tonight sets them up beautifully for Saturday.
And, of course, St. Louis in a very important part of their schedule as well. This 3-game set here with Swope, Tulsa, and then Tampa on Sunday. I know one of the big complaints from St. Louis and their fans has been the fact that it's not a quality level of soccer that they've been playing. But I feel like in the last handful of games, they've been playing much better. That win on the road at Richmond, albeit not very pretty, they got the job done. Got 3 points there, came back home against a team that's one of the hottest in all of USL and Swope, or at least is coming off of a major run. And then they take on Tampa with a very difficult stretch here in Tulsa, sandwiched in between. So big opportunity for both sides here tonight in Tulsa. And we're going to see a little bit of a shuffling of the lineups from both sides. This is a remarkably different looking starting 11 for St. Louis, and a different looking starting 11 for the Roughnecks as well. We get to see the return of MLS Super Draft first round draft pick Brian Wright tonight at forward for the Tulsa Roughnecks, coming in on loan from New England. Brent Bronico down from the Chicago Fire as well. There you see the starting lineup for St. Louis. Valesky up top, having scored 4 goals. There's the Brian Wright position with the forward Christian Tieryoung, who is signed for the rest of the season. And keep an eye on 24, Jaime Ayala, in the back tonight in a position that he came on in late as a sub on last Saturday's game. And it's a unfamiliar position for him. He is used to playing kind of that holding mid there centrally, especially in the Mexican second division. So a big test here tonight for him, Dave Saunders.
Absolutely. He's the one that I picked out tonight to watch closely. I think you're right, Pop. Can he do the defensive work? He came on late, didn't he, in the last game. Can he do what Kosuke does so effectively, which is get up and play almost as a wing-back as well? So, you know, and we're back to a fairly normal back four. I mean, Corrales has played the midfield, central midfield role the other night. He's back to left-back. Then you've got Modou Jadama and Bradley Bourgeois, a good centre-back pairing. Keep your eyes, you said, on Ayala. Big night for that young man.
There's a good look at David Vaudreuil, the head coach of the Tulsa Roughnecks. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll be set for the kickoff live from ONEOK Field here in downtown Tulsa.
Your Tulsa Roughnecks return home on August 10th and 12th for a pair of matches with playoff implications. Join us on Thursday, August 10th, as we battle St. Louis FC on $5 Thursday night, where all tickets are $5 off. Then it's round 2 of the Black and Gold Derby, as the boys look to make it 2 in a row against in-state rival OKC Energy FC on Saturday, August 12th. Kickoff is set for 7:30 both nights. Visit roughnecksfc.com today to buy and print your tickets from home.
I am Jeremy Popham, joined by the head coach of the Tulsa Roughnecks, Dave Vaudreuil. You saw him grow in the conversations that you had with the Fire, now with Calistri going back to Chicago.
As the game went along, I thought we did very well. We moved the ball very quickly. He's consistently the guy getting the most opportunities and the most assist opportunities for us. So.
Former driller and 2004 Minor League Player of the Year, Jeff Francis, is coming back to ONEOK Field. Be here on Thursday, August 17th to get your Jeff Francis t-shirt and a chance to get an autograph from the former driller great. T-shirts for the first 1,000 fans, brought to you by Fox 23 and Mix 96.
Your Tulsa Roughnecks return home on August 10th and 12th for a pair of matches with playoff implications. Join us on Thursday, August 10th, as we battle St. Louis FC on $5 Thursday night, where all tickets are $5 off. Then it's round 2 of the Black and Gold Derby, as the boys look to make it 2 in a row against in-state rival OKC Energy FC on Saturday, August 12th. Kickoff is set for 7:30 both nights. Visit roughnecksfc.com today to buy and print your tickets from home.
Welcome back to ONEOK Field as the captains making their way off the pitch. There's Juan Pablo Caffa, who was honored with one of the goals of the week in USL off of the set piece on Saturday night here in the loss 3-2 to Reno 1868 FC. And what an absolutely amazing strike that it was from Juan Pablo Caffa. We'll have the opportunity to see him on most of the set pieces here coming up this evening. Tulsa coming in with 26 points, St. Louis with 23. St. Louis playing better, 7 points in their last 4 games. You see they're 13th in the Eastern Conference with Preki leading the way. And it's been somewhat of a lineup that has had a lot of tinkering that's gone on with it with St. Louis FC, and a change, a completely different look from their scoreless draw with Swope Park on Saturday. And we'll be keeping an eye tonight on Emmanuel Appiah. He has been quite the find for St. Louis. This will be his 3rd game with St. Louis. Scored the game winner first time out against Richmond and went the full 90. And he has provided a spark for them offensively that they have needed. Couple of thoughts before we get started, my friend?
As I said, very important the Roughnecks treat this not as a 2-game homestand, but just 1 game tonight. Get the points tonight, get something out of tonight, then look forward to your derby. as you said, St. Louis have been improving. They're hard to score on. Good result, albeit they missed a penalty. So hard team to break down tonight. So we'll see if the Roughnecks can get possession of the football early.
Thank you for tuning in. Those of you watching in St. Louis, I'd like to welcome in the St. Louligans. Several members of the fan base has made their way down 44 here tonight into Tulsa. Temperature at kickoff, 88 degrees, and it's brought to you by the News on 6 meteorologist Travis Meyer and the home of the Oklahoma weather experts. Serta was waiting to see, just kind of pausing there to see if it would go over the byline, and was able to reach out and maintain possession of that at the last moment. Quickly a throw in now for Tulsa. Here's George Corrales back more at his natural position. You will see him get forward quite a bit. A little bump from behind there. Valesky is the guilty party. The assistant waved the flag, but Corrales has been so important to the attack for the Roughnecks from that fullback position, Dave.
We love the guy, don't we? And I'm pleased to see him back in that familiar left-back spot. I thought he did a pretty good job, and Coach told you in the Pop and Vod show that he thought he played well in the central midfield. But I think naturally he's a left-back pushing on, and I think it'd be good for him tonight for the Roughnecks.
Good ball played in from Colin Fernandez. Tieryoung gets to it first before the keeper is able to close out. That one bangs off the side of the bar. And Tulsa is turned away here in the opening moments. A brilliant ball played in from Colin Fernandez.
Beautiful ball from Fernandez. Good touch from Tieryoung. Round the keeper. There's the shot. And it just hits the post and goes away. It was almost a replica play of his debut. That's a good ball from Kaffer, but it's just going to elude Tieryoung. So good start for Tieryoung there. He's playing on the right of that 3 with Kaffer in the middle and Rivas on the left. And then, as we said, with Brian Wright, the number 9 tonight. Number 9 role.
The 10th game played for Gorick tonight in the net for St. Louis. Grinwis on the bench tonight. 5 clean sheets for Adam. 7 overall for St. Louis. Foul on the far side of the pitch, and the quick restart here from St. Louis. Alvarez. They'll switch to the near side. Alihodzic. And that's Ayala. That one just able to stay to the inside of the corner flag, so a deep throw in.
Yeah, Ayala with the header out did the sensible thing and didn't concede the corner, so a throw in deep in Tulsa territory for St. Louis.
There's Appia. First opportunity from him. Square ball that's picked off by Corrales. Corrales now plays one through the center circle. Searching ball forward, does not find anyone except the back line of St. Louis.
Yeah, held his hand up there, didn't he? He wanted to feed Kaffer in. Kaffer was streaking up the right-hand side of the field. Here is Kaffer, though, wanting to get on the ball again.
Roughnecks thought that there would be a handball on that. The assistant's flag was kept down. Alvarez surrounded, somehow was able to make his way through, and then tumbles directly in front of Appia. Appia battling against Corrales. Rivas comes away with it, plays it forward. Settled there towards the middle of the pitch from Brian Wright. And now the referee will point in favor of St. Louis. Mojadama, who's been so important to the Roughnecks, they're playing in the middle.
Yeah, he's had a good season, hasn't he? He's been a stalwart at the back there. Virtually played every game. Here he is again. And he had his hands full the other night, didn't he, against Reno with those two top strikers. Different game, different formation against St. Louis tonight. St. Louis playing with one up top, similar to the Roughnecks in this game.
Throw in here for Tulsa. Corrales finds Kaffa. Unfortunate there with that play between those two.
Good to see Rivas back, the number 11 for the Roughnecks. Likes to play on the left of the three. Can go on to the right. Good to see him back in the starting 11.
Kaffa. Ball taken away. Played centrally. Easy play for Bourgeois. Long ball from Serta. Second ball won, and that's something that David Vaudreuil was upset about from the match on Saturday against Reno. Felt that the Roughnecks did not win enough of those second balls. Here's a ball that's played in with the left, off of the deflection. Joaquin Rivas was there. It was a poor clearance. And Rivas almost made St. Louis pay. That was Ryan Howe.
And that's what we said. There's the beauty of having Corrales as left back. You'll see him here getting the overlap there. Rivas then went central and got on the end of this, and it just loops over the bar. But well done, Corrales, on that overlapping run.
First touch failed Howe. That's one area that felt like that Tulsa might be able to take advantage of, is Ryan Howe, who I thought played better against Swope last Saturday there in Fenton. But just hasn't had enough consistency. Here's Tyryoung. Tyryoung has acres of space, pulls it back on the run through. And Brian Wright unable to connect on that ball played from Christian Tyryoung.
Tyryoung played the good ball there. Wright made a good run, held his run, but then just when it came to him, he failed at that opportunity.
Here's
Good
Kaffa.
build up though.
Overlapping run from Corrales. Rivas sandwiched in between two defenders. Referee says play on. Tony Walls was in the vicinity. And there's another poor giveaway from St. Louis on their end of the field. There's Ayala, who's at over 100 starts in the Mexican second division. Brian Wright's cross was low and on the ground. Had a bit of pace to it. Brian Wright played his ball at Vermont. First overall pick for New England. New England's been pretty good about drafting guys from the forward position in the past with some of the success that they've had. And they feel like that Brian Wright not only can be a goal scorer, but they feel that he can be a guy, Dave, that is capable of holding the ball up for them, and felt that he had a great knack for that while he was in the college game.
Yeah, and it's important, isn't it? We often say in the modern game with one up top, as so many teams play, you know, you have got to be able to hold it up, Bob, haven't you? Because if you've got, you know, 5 midfielders behind you, you've got to be the man to hold it up and bring those guys into play. So we'll see what he can do tonight.
Good press by St. Louis here. Bronico through the center of the pitch.
That was a wonderful ball out from Corrales there to play the ball to Bronico, wasn't it?
Ayala finds Pablo Kaffa. Ryan Wright cannot settle that ball. Quickly St. Louis to the opposite end. Collected there centrally. Like they maybe tried to force it in there, looking for Valesky. Chidama just enough of a poke out of the danger area, but here comes Bronico. On a dead run, Brent Bronico gets to the edge of the box. Cut down by two defenders. There's Rivas. Well, the Roughnecks so far tonight have had a difficult time with that first touch, but here's a win at the midfield. Ayala Chips it in over. Rivas able to track it down. He's got options now trailing behind him. One is George Corrales.
It's a good game, isn't it? Both teams trying to play the ball on the deck as we like them to play, and they're both quite attacking teams. And at the moment, you know, it's 0-0, but you feel there are goals in this game, don't you?
St. Louis, for the most part, has been a build it from the back team. They're a very, you know, ball to foot team. They have shown the ability at times to go very direct. Not as direct as what we've seen from Oklahoma City, because I'm not quite sure if there's a more direct team in the league than what OKC is. But St. Louis has shown the ability to do that. And both of these teams, stylistically, they want to be able to control the ball. They want to possess the ball.
Well, we know the Roughnecks want to dominate the possession stats, and they didn't against Reno. It was quite an unusual sight, really, but here comes St. Louis.
To the outside, a tad bit of space. Corrales there to cut down the angle. Alihodzic with the attempted ball. And here's Max Alvarez. There's Valesky, 23 career goals inside of USL. Sitting on 4 this season. Here's the in-swinger. Serta did just enough to get there in time.
Yeah, Mr. Ricketts, the goalkeeping coach, will be happy to see his keeper do that. If you can't catch it, the next best thing is to punch it away, and he did just that, took it away from any heads coming in from the St. Louis attackers.
Congratulations to Donovan Ricketts as well on his new position with TSC. One of the clubs here in the city of Tulsa. You say congrats to one of the clubs in St. Louis as well. Scott Gallagher's team won the national championship. As they attempt to build the St. Louis FC Academy.
Of course, the Roughnecks will be playing in St. Louis, won't they, on Wednesday, the 23rd of August, so not long to wait for the return game of this one. Cross-conference game.
Fernandez cuts to the inside. This is where he's been better. Has that one knocked away from him. Has to quickly retreat. Long ball played forward. Jadama's going to get there in front of Valesky. Good play between Serta and Jadama. Mo Jadama now looking for movement. Corrales thought about playing that ball up the touchline.
Fabian Serta is so good with the ball at his feet, as the modern goalkeepers have to be these days, don't they? They have to play as almost as an outfield player, because they can't pick it up with the rule change a few years ago now. One of the better rule changes in the game of soccer, I might add.
Ball played through to Rivas. Rivas with the left foot. Just wide of the post. Well, it's a good ball played on the turnover from midfield. Heads up play, and Rivas had 26 shots entering the game. You can add another to that. Tied for second on the team, and Joaquin was almost able to put the Roughnecks on top here early.
And I tell you what, he gave Gorick the eye there and almost sent him the wrong way, and Gorick was stood there. Here's the replay. Good ball from Tier Young there, finding Rivas. Now just watch that, and the keeper stood there, but a couple of yards wide. But good effort from Rivas.
Heads up play from Tier Young.
No, I hate to tell you this, but Juan Pablo Caffa has just pulled up, and I think there's going to be a change here because he immediately stopped. I wonder what was going on, Pop, and he looked at his coach.
Yeah, he peeled back on the run.
Yeah. And that, if you're a Roughnecks fan, is not a good sight. The playmaker down, and I would suggest to you it is a hamstring injury. Fabian Serta's gone right over there, up to halfway. Chance for the coach to group his players.
Well, and you are looking at the engine that drives the offense for the Roughnecks, who is down currently.
He pulled up, he certainly turned around, he made no attempt to run after the ball. It's one of those that, you know, tight hamstring, and it can happen so easily with 15 minutes gone here.
Now, I do not want to read much into hand signals, as you see the stats on Caffa, who is also one of the league leaders in chances created, in crosses. But one of the hand signals that was given was the break sign, so I hope that that's not something that is...
He's up on his feet, which is a good sign, isn't it? Just trying to see if that's his knee, Pop, or is it left leg there?
Yeah, I think it's his left. He was grabbing the back.
Yeah, he's upset. Yeah, off comes the captain's armband. Yeah, very emotional because he just loves to play the game, and there you can just see him in the top of the shot there. Went down straight away knowing there was a problem.
And you had that feeling that there was something wrong when he peeled off that run the way that he did, because he had worked so hard to get that ball.
And it's Mr. Calistri who's come onto the field, Pop, who I think was, well, I don't know if he was hoping for a rest before the black and gold derby, but there he is sprinting into action. Not a bad replacement, but wow. T. Young's gone into the Caffa role, the number 10 role, and Calistri's gone on the right of the 3. But we'll see whether we can get some news on that injury.
Calistri on loan, obviously, from the Fire, one of the homegrown contracts with the Fire. Northwestern University, number 2 leading goal scorer in program history. This will be his 19th appearance on the season for Joey Calistri, who was recalled from Chicago 2 weeks ago and then brought back down.
He's a great player, isn't he? He is really, to me, the all-round player. And watch out for that name because he's going to be playing MLS before long.
Settled the center of the pitch, pull back, and then a shot. Bierman did well to create the opportunity, to create some space for himself, but skied it over the top of the bar. 5 goals for Joey Calistri this season. 3rd in the team.
Well, we just hope that injury to Juan Pablo Caffa is not serious.
Well, and here's the other aspect of an injury like that. Knowing that that is arguably your best player, which is your captain, kind of your heartbeat of the team, how that affects you mentally as well to see that happen, depending on how bad the injury is. Corrales, great job from Rivas to find him on the touchline. Jadama, still more of a high press, and it's a steal. Valesky tries to play that one across with the square ball, unable to do so, and maybe Valesky should have been a tad bit more selfish there, Dave Saunders.
Well, I think so. And goalkeepers normally are, and he's just smacked the post there because he's annoyed with himself. But there's the beauty of a back 4 instead of a 3. We can argue that all night, couldn't we? A lot of the modern game and the top clubs are going to back 3. But there's your centre-back pairing helping each other out. Jadama made the mistake. Bouchoir came along and helped his mate out and said, I will foil the danger, and he did exactly that.
Sets up the corner. Here's Alvarez. Then swinger. Serta out. Parries it out of the box. Blast back just to the opposite side of the post. Well, Serta went diving to his right, and the Roughnecks avoid danger here in the 20th minute.
That was Mikovic with a really good strike, and Serta was scrambling away to his right-hand post there. Here it is, comes out to Mikovic. Look, that's a difficult skill, and that's a good effort there, and you could see the St. Louis fans behind the goal. They thought they were one up there.
A lot of times you don't see that type of pace come off of that ball. You could see him, he has to wait for the right opportunity. He actually took a step back before he followed through on the volley.
Difficult skill, difficult skill.
Fernandez. A slip there, and the referee will reward the Roughnecks. And I believe we'll have our first talking to of the night.
Smile from the referee. I think just coming back to the St. Louis fans, first of all, well done, because what is it, a 6-hour drive, Pop? And also, isn't it great to see both sets of fans standing together? Something I'm not used to coming from the country of England, I can tell you. Well done on you. And I think, you know, between the two clubs, there's been some good camaraderie between the two sets of fans over the few years we've been playing each other.
There's Fernandez over the top of the ball. Soccer fans, Nike is an official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com. Coming to you live from the Bank of Oklahoma broadcast booth here at ONEOK Field.
A few years ago, though, Pop, Liverpool, Everton, the Merseyside derby, they used to stand together. Blue, obviously blue and red together, but these days, absolutely no way.
Long searching ball forward over the top. Serta easily. It was a good look from the back line. Valesky on a dead run. They'll go back to the same side. Corrales stopped there looking for movement. Finds Brian Wright, who comes down. Great young from Tier Young down the touchline. Good bit of defense there from A.J. Cochran to follow Tier Young. Rivas step over, square for Fernandez. Collins so good in tight spaces with the dribble.
Very good. Yeah, you know how much I admire that player. Another one to look out for.
And I think Colin is now starting to come in his own. In most instances, I feel like that Colin has been a tad bit hesitant. Great ball laid back, Tier Young. Well, it was a good look. And was that Calistri that went towards the byline to find Tier Young?
I think it was. There is Tier Young, who's got very, very difficult shoes to fill, isn't he? And going into the Juan Pablo Caffa position, but he's done pretty well there. And then, as you say, Calistri out on the right, going towards that ball. One thing I think, you know, Dave Vodra will be saying, we must get the ball into the feet of Brian Wright. He's not had too many touches of the football as Brian Wright, the lone striker for the Roughnecks tonight.
And when he has, Brian has had a difficult time with the first touch here so far this evening. There have been 3 balls played into him.
That was a good touch.
That is a better ball. Bronico on loan from Chicago. Ayala was down on the pitch. Now we'll get whistled for a foul.
Well, I think Ayala will get a talking to, but I think maybe that could have been stopped just a little bit earlier. Just yet, Ayala's saying, you know, he's hugging the player, but I think maybe if it had been stopped when Ayala was on the ground, I thought he got a bit of a nudge on him, but all's well.
Ryan Howe, the Rockford, Illinois native, played for Loyola. And I'm with you. I thought play might have been stopped a tad bit earlier as Calistri hits the deck. I want to go back and finish my point on Fernandez. I feel like the area of growth for Colin playing centrally has been now having that confidence in himself to take on defenders and go at them and keep the dribble alive. And Colin has set himself up over the last couple of weeks. The problem, as Vaudril has pointed out, Coach Vaudril, has been that Colin has lacked the ability to square up to goal, and it's cost him several more goals this season. But the last couple of weeks, when he has decided to attack those defenders, Dave. What a blast and an amazing goal from the outside. George Corrales, an absolute screamer, has put the Roughnecks on top. And Gorick did not have a chance at all. Wow, what a vapor trail.
Sometimes you just see a player strike a ball as sweet as a nut. And as you said, it gave Gorick absolutely no chance. Here it is, the ball comes out off the defender. Wow, look at that. Smack in the back of the net, keeper no chance, and the Roughnecks go 1-0 into the lead, and it's from the left back, Mr. Corrales. What a strike.
That was just Ryan Howe getting anything that he could on it to get that out of the box.
Well, and so often you see a player, take the ball down and play maybe a little ball into the box, but no, Corrales thought, I'm just going to have a go at that one. Sometimes they go sailing over the bar. That one smacked the back of the net, keeper sprawling. No way, no fault to the keeper there at all.
Goal number 1 on the season for George Corrales and the Tulsa Roughnecks.
We needed a speed gun on that one, my friend, to see how fast that was actually traveling.
I don't believe that we've seen Corrales test keepers from distance at any point this season, have we?
No, that was something that came into my head. You don't see too many of those because we're so used to him being on the outside, aren't we, and getting the crosses in. Here's the free kick.
Only his 6th shot of the season. Rivas off the reception. Oh, brilliant ball from Rivas, played in. Calistri had an opportunity. That would have been a wonder goal. But well done, Joaquin Rivas.
Here's the opportunity here. Ball played into the box, and there was Calistri. Just couldn't get enough on it. Good pressure from the defender there, actually. Well, I tell you what, it's a sad night injury-wise for Juan Pablo Caffa, but I'm sure that Corrales goal brought a smile to his face, albeit temporarily. It was a fantastic strike.
Young settles, finds Brian Wright. Ayala lets that one play out. Throw in now for Tulsa.
And coming back to our point about Brian Wright, the last couple of times he's had the ball, he's played other players in, and that'll be good for him. He'll be feeling his way into this game now.
So Brian Wright down getting minutes. I mean, he's got Agudelo, Bunbury in front of him. So the pecking order there in New England, in many instances, almost 4th in order for New England. So it's great to see him come down. Had tremendous success in the Open Cup. Scored a goal there in the 5th round. Almost had a brace in their win over Rochester in the Open Cup. This is his 2nd appearance for the Roughnecks. Several other members of the Roughnecks tonight are actually down. Guillen from FC Dallas is back in a Roughnecks uniform. Good job from Corrales to shield off. And a giveaway from Tulsa. Appia, ball on the ground, does not make it through Jadama. Good look from Fernandez, finds Calistri. Roughnecks will pull back and allow numbers. Good ball forward there. Young might have been in an offsides position. Play on. Good ball played through. Rivas. Good play from Gorick.
That's great goalkeeping, but what about the ball to Rivas? No foul here, we play on, so it's end-to-end stuff now.
Bronico in between the goal. Fernandez got just a piece of it, and then the hard tackle through. And we'll have our first booking of the evening. Mirkovic.
Yeah, Roughnecks players there are just saying it was a bit of a foot up. I think, to be fair to Mirkovic, I think it was 2 players going for the ball here. Here's Fernandez going towards the wall. There's Mirkovic, maybe, you know, showing his cleats there, and that's why he got the yellow card. But it's end-to-end stuff. Going back to the Rivas chance, you know, it was an opportunity, but as you said, Pop, in commentary, well played to goalkeeper Gorek. That was a fine piece of goalkeeping.
Only the second yellow card to Mirkovic.
Yeah, I think his midfield mate there has had a few more, hasn't he? I think 5 for Stoichkov.
Fernandez on the diagonal run. Calistri. Numbers in the box. That's what David Vaudreuil wants to see. Good turn from Tyr-Young. Tried to sell the contact. The referee will now point in favor of the corner. Tyr-Young is looking, thought that he had earned that call.
Well, Tyr-Young's having a great game, isn't he? And he's settled in well into that number 10
He
role.
looks much more active, and this almost, Dave.
Yeah.
He's been thrust into the 10 here, but he looks pretty comfortable.
I think the referee gets that one just about right. I think there was a tug just before he went down. And I think that's what probably the referee thought in the end. Well, you know, he could have gone on and then threw himself down a little bit with respect to him. But I think, yeah, strange things happen in the game of football, don't they? Kafa's off and Tyr-Young's in the game.
This is a new position for the Roughnecks as well, because typically this is Kafa.
Yes.
Taking corners. So
it's Ayala over there.
Seeing Ayala from the opposite side of the pitch. Not a bad ball from Ayala.
That was a good sort of flat line drive in there, wasn't it? It was one that if someone had met that would have been heading towards goal. But good defending again from St. Louis.
Fans, you can stay up to date with the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. And also don't forget, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. You can check USLsoccer.com for dates and times. Ayala.
Well, I think the referee's done a lot of, you know, kind of waving his hand and say, come on, get up, we're going to keep playing on. So he's set his stall out now. There's got to be a real foul for him to, you know, to give it. If players are just going to go to ground with minimal contact, he's not going to give it. So he set his stall out, and the players will pick that up, I'm sure.
Referee tonight, Luis Guardia. Matt Schroeder, Truman Berghall, and Jared Rigsby is the fourth.
It's a good game, Pop, isn't it? I mean, both sides, you know, playing well. I'm sure if you're a St. Louis fan, you want a little bit more on goal. There's been a couple of punches away by Fabian Serda, and the shot that was a few yards over from Yemen.
St. Louis has not, you can tell they're on their back heels a bit because they have had very little possession here over the last 15 minutes.
And that's more roughneck-like, isn't it?
And Appia has been a non-factor so far this evening. Great curling ball in. Gorick with another great effort to get to that ball.
Yeah, good goalkeeping again. Did just enough. It looked a little bit untidy, but it was effective.
St. Louis with some firepower on the bench. They've got Guzman. Also Daniel Jackson, who I would assume that you would see at some point. Who was added in the Oklahoma City trade. Trying to post up there was Valesky. Chidama leaning on him.
It's difficult for Coach Preki and Vaudreuil, isn't it? Because, you know, you've got a game. The Roughnecks play again on Saturday. I think you said St. Louis play Sunday,
Sunday with Tampa Bay at home.
And it's difficult, but as a player, you want the games to come thick and fast. You want to play every single minute. I know certainly Kafa does.
Alvarez, driven shot. Alvarez did a lot of work to create that shot from distance for himself. Serta bobbled it for a second, but no real danger.
Got everything behind it, didn't he? That's the important thing there, isn't it? A little nudge there from Mr. Wright.
USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL. Welcoming in Birmingham in 19. Fresno joining the Western Conference.
And Austin coming back.
And Austin coming back.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful diagram of the new complex in Austin.
Yes, sir.
As the Aztecs come back. That was a nice little surprise from the league that came, what, yesterday morning? Right there on the grounds where they have the F1 race.
And of course, it'll be interesting, Pop, when it, you know, the two teams tonight playing cross-conference game. You know, will that be a thing of the past? Are they going to, you know, revamp the Western and Eastern conferences? What will happen there? You know, remains to be seen.
Well, we know that we will be East and West next year, and then Jake Edwards has not really kept it a secret that he wants to see 3 divisions, and I think that that is ultimately the best thing for USL, to move to 3 divisions. And you have more teams entering in the middle of the country, rumors about others.
And then you open up the debate of the relegation and promotion, don't you?
Oh, let's not open that can of worms. 37th minute. Ball played in. Serta, both hands, punches it out of the 18. Calistri falling to the ground is Dragon. Young, edge of the box, lofted that ball, found Rivas. Rivas will lay back for Ayala.
That was a brilliant takedown from Rivas there inside the box, really was, and he was able to lay it back to Ayala. Beautiful play from Rivas.
Roughnecks are far more active around the 18-yard box than they were on Saturday night. Coach Vaudreuil thought that the Roughnecks players were rather stagnant, allowed several Reno players to surround them. We made notes in commentary that there were times where they had what seemed like 3 or 4 defenders surrounding every Roughneck player. Every time they received the ball at the 18, there was very little movement. Numbers were not in the box with the way that we're accustomed to seeing from Tulsa.
No, Reno made it very, very difficult. They were a side that as soon as they lost the ball, and they didn't lose it an awful lot, they were surrounding the Roughnecks. They wanted it back, and they've obviously worked very, very hard at that. And they were one of the better sides that I've seen here at ONEOK.
Curling ball from Ayala, free in the box for a brief second. Tulsa now will build through the midfield. Bronico, tear-dropping ball. Rivas with the one-timer. Wow.
Well, he's seen his mate Corrales do it, so he's thinking, why don't I have a go as well? We all thought he was going to cross that into the box. He flashed a shot with his left foot, and I'll tell you what, that's a good save from Gorick, because that was going across him. You watch the keeper here, flings himself to his left and gets 2 hands on that one. Corner to the Roughnecks, and I think it's Colin Fernandez who's going away to the right-hand side there, Pop. But a great shot from the Roughnecks and Rivas.
Rivas allowed that ball to take one bounce, and then off of the volley, let one go with the left. Fernandez with the in-swinger. And over the top of the bar, Brian Wright.
Yeah, and Valesky there got away with it a little bit.
Actually, you know what? That's Jadama.
Yeah, it's Jadama. But you watch Valesky in the number 9 shirt. He gets the wrong side of Jadama there. Jadama had a big smile on his face. He had a good header on that one, and it wasn't too far over the bar there. Jadama is become the captain on the night because of Juan Pablo Cafa's injury. If you're joining this broadcast late, Cafa is off the field with an injury. We don't know quite the extent of the injury.
That is the story of the night so far. Cafa continues to sit on the bench, has not gone back to the locker room area. Looked like an injury to the left leg. We will see if we can get an update at halftime with Paige Martin, who will have a conversation with Coach Vaudreuil. It's an attempt from distance from Howe. And no danger whatsoever.
And the Roughnecks have forced people like Howe to have a shot from a long way out. And that will be something that Coach Brecky, I'm sure, will be talking to his players about. How do we get Valesky more into the game in the 6-yard box? Because really nothing has come from the wings for the away side.
Well, and this has been the story of St. Louis FC in 2017. The lack of scoring, the lack of opportunities. It has picked up recently in the last couple of weeks with the opportunities, and several great ones with Swope. But tonight, reverting back to more of the same. And Brecky has made the comment in the past that we're not necessarily looking for that guy that can score 15, but we would like to have a combination of guys that can score, you know, maybe 6 to 8 goals. Have 3 of those guys, and they just have not been able to find it yet at all. Tier Young with a great ball. Rivas pulls back a shot. Another tremendous save from Gorick. Roughnecks, though, still with possession. Laid it off. Here's Tier Young, the shot.
Wow, tremendous efforts from the Roughnecks. Here's Rivas with the first one. Brings it onto his favoured left foot. Curls a shot. Again, a great save from Gorick, to be fair to him. And then on the follow-up, we get the ball coming back here to Tier Young. Here from Fernandez, here with a left foot pass. There's Tier Young just curling it a yard wide. And the Roughnecks have clearly been told to shoot on sight tonight. Brilliant play from the Roughnecks, and will count up the number of shots on target in this first 42 minutes. Still 3 minutes to go to half-time. Still 1-0 to the Roughnecks.
9 total shots for the Roughnecks so far here this evening. Enjoying 55% in the possession so far tonight.
Well, and if you see one of your teammates hit a scorcher like Corrales did for the goal, you know, it does make you think, well, why don't I have a go as well? And I think that's been, you know, Mr. Tier Young and Rivas, they've all had a go. But to be fair to the keeper, he's done really, really well.
Here's Stoikov. Fernandez gets up. Stoikov back in the lineup after serving his suspension for card accumulation. Dragon has been their blue-collar guy, kind of their Iron Man, so to speak. He's been that guy to, not to steal a line from, I can't believe I'm going to drop a line from the Chappelle Show, but I will. He's been that habitual line stepper for them and kind of that tone setter. And I feel like that there are a lot of teams that need a guy like that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you look at the teams, you know, that I've followed over the years, you've had that Iron Man in there. And, you know, you can name teams that haven't had someone in there, a ball winner in the midfield, and they haven't been so successful, arguably.
Yeah, Guzman has had that about him as well. I'm sure at some point we will see him this evening. Christian could not get a handle on the cross from Ayala as we were in the 44th minute. Tulsa leading 1-0. The goal in the 24th minute from George Corrales. Corrales, the Cuban international, has permanent residency here in the States now. Jadama cut down that ball.
And that Corrales goal will be a candidate for goal of the week, won't it?
There's Dragon as Corrales. He was hit centrally. Serta had to go up in the air, used both hands to get a piece of it. That's a dangerous area, though, to give that ball away if you're Tulsa. Right outside of the 18. and Stoikov had a go.
It was a good go from Stoikov, as he said. He was a long way out. Serda did everything right, got two hands behind it, was never going to catch it, palmed it down, and danger averted. But good signs from St. Louis. But again, I would say it's a long way out that they're trying to test this fantastic Fabian Serda.
Soccer fans, Nike is the official sponsor of the USL. For more information, visit nikesoccer.com. You can also stay up to date with the latest USL news and information from around the league. Here's Tulsa with Rivas to Tieryoung. And Tieryoung's ball on the ground at Gorick. And quickly with the outlet pass, here comes St. Louis now through the middle third.
Well, I'm loving the way that Tieryoung and Rivas, especially linking up tonight. Really clever play from them.
Alvarez. Yorman was there, but Bourgeois was the defender in the area. We'll have 2 minutes of stoppage time that is added here at ONEOK. You can tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC Channel 85. Also, don't forget, they will air the USL Game of the Week. You can check uslsoccer.com for dates and times.
Just a word on Bradley Bourgeois. Personal preference. I much prefer him at centre-back to right-back.
Got his first look at right-back on Saturday night. Was a bit of a learning curve, if that's the way that you would put it, in the first 15-20 minutes of that match. Then you started to see more of Bourgeois become comfortable in that spot. We saw him do some overlapping runs, had the opportunity on several crosses.
Yeah, he grew into the game, didn't he? He's a coach's dream, though, isn't he? Because he can play everywhere. He plays central midfield, you know. He can play, you know, like we said, right back. But I do, personal opinion, as the halftime whistle goes, think that his best position is centre-back.
Yeah, hardworking young man from the University of Tulsa, and that will bring us to a close here in the first half. We'll go down on the field here in moments with Dave Vaudreuil, and you are seeing why the USL is one of the most prominent second division professional leagues in the world, featuring some of the game's top talent and rising stars. Stay up to date with all the latest league news and information by visiting the website, uslsoccer.com, and on Twitter at USL. Lots of news from the week to go and check out at uslsoccer.com, plus additions for several teams that the Roughnecks will have to face here in the Western Conference. I see San Antonio had an addition. Phoenix had a couple of additions as well. You can find out all of the latest. Paige Martin is the third member of our crew. She is standing by with the head coach of the Tulsa Roughnecks, Dave Vaudreuil, and we'll throw it down to Paige now. Paige, take it away.
There were 9 shots, and then Corrales fired the laser shot outside of the box to make that score 1-0. Now, what does your team need to continue doing this second half to maintain the lead?
Well, we can't let up and we can't get exposed to the back. You know, I think once off of one set piece, they had like a 5-on-4 break, and a couple times, you know, we get into the final third and we rush the pass, and that puts and we've got a lot of guys in the box, and that puts us at a disadvantage. So we got to be a little bit better in the final third. With 9 shots, you would expect to have another goal or two, and would have been nice to go in with a 2-0 cushion instead of 1-0. But you know, we got to keep up the same intensity, keep playing in their end, and just make sure that tactically we don't leave ourselves exposed and give up an easy counterattack.
And the team pretty much controlled possession in that first half. We even saw Serda getting his touches in as well, along with making a couple great saves. How would you evaluate your backline's performance so far?
Good on defense, but I think we played a little slow with the ball. When you get those slow rolling balls back and forth between Fabian and George and those guys, and they're getting closed down, then that's not a good sign. So we either got to play quicker and take the responsibility and get out of the back earlier, or release the pressure and play a ball up to Brian and the wings and let them go fight for it and move our lines up.
All righty, thank you, Coach. Good luck this next half.
All right, there you have it. Comments from the head coach, Dave Vaudreuil, as the Roughnecks lead here 1-0 at halftime on the goal from George Corrales in the 24th minute. And there's a look at Juan Pablo Caffa hobbling off of the pitch here at ONEOK. We'll take a timeout and come back with the halftime show coming up next here on Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer.
Your Tulsa Roughnecks return home on August 10th and 12th for a pair of matches with playoff implications. Join us on Thursday, August 10th, as we battle St. Louis FC on $5 Thursday night, where all tickets are $5 off. Then it's round 2 of the Black and Gold Derby as the boys look to make it 2 in a row against in-state rival OKC Energy FC on Saturday, August 12th. Kickoff is set for 7:30 both nights. Visit roughnecksfc.com today to buy and print your tickets from home. Your Tulsa Roughnecks return home on August 10th and 12th for a pair of matches with playoff implications. Join us on Thursday, August 10th, as we battle St. Louis FC on $5 Thursday night, where all tickets are $5 off. Then it's round 2 of the Black and Gold Derby as the boys look to make it 2 in a row against in-state rival OKC Energy FC on Saturday, August 12th. Kickoff is set for 7:30 both nights. Visit roughnecksfc.com today to buy and print your tickets from home.
In a galaxy far, far away, the Tulsa Drillers are battling the San Antonio Missions at ONEOK Field. On Friday, August 18th, our annual Star Wars night will feature everyone's favorite Star Wars characters who will be available throughout the night for photos. In addition, the Tulsa Driller players and coaches will be wearing special limited edition Star Wars jerseys that will be part of a silent auction during the game, plus post-game fireworks brought to you by Tulsa Habitat for Humanity, News on 6, and K95.5 FM.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Open road, here comes the Heffley family.
Whether it's a short trip or a long haul.
Estimated time, 47 hours.
They will beg.
You're hungry? I'm happy to provide.
They will plead.
Deep fried butter on a stick.
But whatever you do, don't wimp out.
Now you're talking.
Make them buckle up.
He can't hurt.
Remember, safety first. Cheese curls second.
Are you orange?
We've raised the stakes. Expectations are high. Our biggest season yet will break records with elite players and future stars. Innovative technology and new homes. We're growing the game in our communities and across the nation. Are you ready?
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
When I get all steamed up, then I shout.
Tip me over and pour me out. Oh.
It only takes a moment to make a moment.
Cheers.
Take time to be a dad today.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. At work or at play, you're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Oh, hey, she's cute. Nice going, man. Things are going great for you. You've earned a night out. Good drinks, good friends. Yeah, we can go ahead and call this a good night. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Not smart. Yeah, I saw that coming. Say goodbye to her. Ouch. That'll hurt your bank account. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. I hope you like eating frozen dinners. Alone. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
We've got FC Cincinnati and Miami FC to find out who is going to host the New York Red Bulls a week from tonight in the semifinals of the U.S. Open Cup.
Great acquisition. Oh, could be dangerous, just wide. Looking to tee it up from distance, just over the net. One touch to Stefano Pino, and it's cleared out by Mitch Hildebrand. Has Freeman in front of him. Boyd with a nice angle, gets past Freeman. Centers, back of the net. 1-0. FC Cincinnati, 68th minute.
Great play again. One of the players, Justin Hoyt, being able to beat the defense. And
who else?
Of course, right there, GB was able to beat his defender. It comes down to those simple things.
Finds a little space, finds a little bit more space. Can he put it in the back of the net? Soho, what a save! See how skilled he is. That's going to do it for the ball game. Congratulations to FC Cincinnati. They have a date with the New York Red Bulls 1 week from tonight, and Miami FC has left everything they had on this.
Roughnecks Nation, that's all I have for you all.
And the dream run for FC Cincinnati continues inside of the Open Cup. And next up, a semifinal matchup. An incredible setting, not only in Cincinnati, but a team that's able to go on the road like the way they have, Dave, to get Miami. I can only imagine what it's like for some of the fans right now with FC Cincinnati, knowing that you're one step closer to potentially playing in an Open Cup final.
Dream continues, Pop, doesn't it? You know, they get fantastic crowds. It's a great club, and they're going from strength to strength. They had that win live on TV, didn't they, against the Fire, and now they go and beat Miami. That was a great game, by the way. Good luck to them.
Yeah, and sold out. They sold 16,000 tickets in 7 hours, and now the official announcement that they are sold out. Let's turn our attention to here at ONEOK on the pitch this evening. It's also with the 1-0 lead here at halftime. A little bit of shuffling with the lineup. First things first, though, still waiting to hear a report on Juan Pablo Caffa. As soon as we have information, we will pass that along to you. But that is a serious injury if Juan Pablo Caffa cannot continue further on into the weekend, even against OKC, because as we've talked about, he seems to make everything work with this Roughneck offense.
Yeah, he makes everything work, doesn't he? We'll talk about T. Young slotting into the role in a minute, but, you know, he is what makes it tick, and he's a big, big loss, and I think it was only 15 or 16 minutes, Pop, into the game. So we hope he's okay, and it's not too serious an injury.
You mentioned Tier Young. I think Christian Tier Young has done a great job moving into that 10 spot. That is what this Roughneck side is built on, is versatile guys. You look at Fernandez, who's able to play a couple of different positions. Calistri as well. And you insert Calistri, move Tier Young into that 10 spot. I think he's done incredibly well.
He's done fantastic well. He's linked up well with Rivas there as well in this 4-2-3-1. And I think it's something that Coach Vodds has really brought into this team this season is you've got to play in more than one position. We're going to slot you in. You know, Ayala's played in midfield. He's playing right back tonight. You can go on. You know, so T. Young's done fantastically well.
Yeah, and Joaquin Rivas has maybe had one of his best games that we've seen here in a Roughneck uniform. Let's see some of the highlights from the first half against St. Louis FC here this evening at ONEOK. And Tulsa got things here started in the early moments. This was only in the 2nd minute, and it was Tier Young.
Tier Young goes round the keeper, does everything right, and then just hits the post. But here was another opportunity here as Rivas goes in, and that one just loops over the bar.
Another opportunity here for Tulsa. Rivas one more time. Another great ball played in from that man we just talked about, Young.
And this is a rare forage forward from St. Louis. I can see what the lad was trying to do there. He's trying to find his mate up front, but it just didn't happen. But what about this?
How about this laser from distance from George Corrales? There you see the effort at clearance, and he got every single ounce of that ball, Dave.
There is, you know, it's just sweet as a nut, as I said in commentary. You know, it just hit the back of the net. Nothing the keeper could do, but the Roughnecks kept coming forward, Pop.
Kept coming forward. This is the volley from Rivas to the outside. Here's Joaquin one more time. Sets himself up with the left. Gorick has had an unbelievable first half and has kept St. Louis in this match.
He has, and then here's Fernandez on the follow-up, and here's T. Young just trying to curl a shot just wide of the target. Again, St. Louis probably the best opportunity here, but Fabian Serda got both hands behind it. And the Roughnecks have been solid at the back, and Rivas, amongst others, is on fire tonight.
Everything from distance from St. Louis so far tonight have not had really great opportunities here in the first half. We'll take a timeout, and when we come back, we'll get set for the second half, live from ONEOK Field. Jeremy Poplin, Dave Saunders, this is Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer.
I am Jeremy Poplin, joined by the head coach of the Tulsa Roughnecks, Dave Vaudreuil. You saw him grow in the conversations that you had with the Fire, now with Calistri going back to Chicago.
As the game went along, I thought we did very well. We moved the ball very quickly. He's consistently the guy getting the most opportunities and the most assist opportunities for us. So.
Tulsa, Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders coming to you live from the Bank of Oklahoma broadcast booth. There's a look behind us as we get set. Here's our view. Getting set for the second half. There's Mr. Corrales, whose goal in the 24th minute, the very first professional goal for Corrales in a Roughneck kit, as the Roughnecks in the lead here. Well, if you're Coach Vaud, got to be pleased with the first half. He did say that he felt like at times when they got into the attacking third, they maybe rushed a few balls too many, wanted a little bit more patience, but the attack tonight, I feel like even with Kaffa out, has not only been surprising, but I think it's been about as good as I can remember in the last 5 games.
You're absolutely right. I mean, they really are on fire. You know, coming forward, everybody's been involved. Rivas, Tia Young, you know, Brian Wright has held the line pretty well. I think he would like a couple of opportunities on goal. But I think, you know, it's forcing, defensively as well, it's forced St. Louis to have strikes from outside of the box. Now, they're bringing on a couple of players here. I know Guzman is one of them. So Precky's making a couple of substitutions here, Pop, because they've got to try and find a way of the away side of piercing the Tulsa defense. So we'll see what that brings with their substitutions.
Trying to tinker with the lineup is Precky here to maybe create some more offensively for this St. Louis FC side, again, that has struggled through the majority of the season.
It's Tyler David who's come on and Octavio Guzman, isn't it? So, you know, it'll be a little bit more attacking. And I think our man Appy has gone on to the left-hand side. And it might be more of a traditional 4-4-2 from St. Louis. We'll let you know. Certainly up front now is Tyler David, and he's accompanying Valesky.
Well, and Appia on that left side against Swope was dangerous most of the night. Guzman in that match with Swope was on the opposite side from where Appia was. Seemed to work well in connection with the guys in front of him. Here's Calistri towards the byline. Gets by one defender, slots the ball in, off of the deflection. Young with the left.
Well, it was an opportunity. It's clever play from Calistri here because he committed the defender. Look how he stands up there, Calistri. Beautiful ball pulled back. Good defending, to be fair, on Rivas. And then Young just slicing that one a yard or so over. But Young, we mentioned him at half-term. He's having a great game tonight.
11 shots so far for Tulsa. Brilliant ball played through.
And Rivas is having a fantastic game as well, and that's a goal kick. I must admit, I thought that was a corner. Yes, it is a corner.
Roustabout's are upset about that.
Yeah. Well, the referee's a lot closer than my bad eyesight. So, but Rivas, you know, you could mention all of those front four have worked really hard tonight. And, you know, they're great going forward, but we hope those two are going to sit in, Bronico and Colin Fernandez in front of that back four and hold firm.
I just mentioned how great it is to see other fans make the trip and help spread this game, the game that we both love, and fans deciding to make the trip. Bravo to the St. Louis fans that made the trip down to Tulsa on a Thursday night. I know that's a tough night of the week.
Absolutely, yeah, well done to you. And I think I said earlier on the broadcast, there's good relations, I think, between the two sets of fans. What is it, 6-hour journey? So well played to them, as you said. There were a couple of Reno fans here, by the way, the other night, which I thought was a tremendous effort as well.
Also a shout out to Mr. Bird and Bert and Mitch and the guys. This is Silly Podcast. Might I suggest that from the St. Louligans? Great job as always. Had a interesting discussion on their latest version of the podcast about the divisions in USL and also some of the latest news. While we're speaking of podcasts, the Pop and VOD pod available on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play. It's our version of the Coach's Show that airs on Facebook Live, and then we throw that up on the podcast.
And I'm telling you, if you've not been able to listen into that one, do, because Pop asks the questions and VODs is always very, very honest with his answers and very clear.
Maybe at times a little too honest.
Yeah, you said that, not me. Yeah, he is, isn't he? Very honest.
There are times where he will give me an answer, and I, after having dealt with either professional athletes or college level, I have been a bit surprised by how open that Coach Vaught has been. Here's Calistri. Finds Fernandez. Roughnecks now will switch fields. Tracking it down before the touchline. You know who's done well tonight, Dave, that hasn't had his name called quite a bit is Brent Bronico. I thought he's done extremely well kind of setting into that position.
Unsung hero. That's a great ball in. A bit too close to the keeper. You're absolutely right. Bronico in that too. If you're new to the game, the formation is the 4-2-3-1. Traditionally in soccer, it's been 4-4-2 or 4-3-3, and now, as St. Louis come forward, the Roughnecks play a 4-2-3-1.
Guzman, Appia. Here's House, square through the center circle. Into the sky, Serta punches that one over the byline. A corner now coming up for St. Louis FC as Alvarez will be the man. There's Brent Bronico on loan from Chicago.
Of course, he sits in there very well with Colin Fernandez, also from Chicago, in that too. So
played his collegiate soccer at North Carolina Charlotte, member of the 49ers. Boy, the ball was free there in the box. Howe's driven ball, and the flag is up.
Yeah, Tyler David coming back from an offside position there.
Bronico had 9 goals last season for the 49ers. Conference USA Player of the Year. There's Modu. Outside of Kosuke, Kaimura, who is injured, has a bit of a knee injury. More than likely not available for OKC. I would be comfortable in saying that Mo is the Iron Man for the Roughnecks, Dave.
Absolutely. He's played pretty much every minute, hasn't he? And played at the back. There's another offside there against Tia Young. And he's formed a pretty good partnership with Bradley Bouchoir, and those two at the back tonight have been pretty good so far. But it's a much more attacking lineup from Coach Preki and St. Louis in this second half.
Mo, of course, comes from the famed Colo Colo in the Premier Division of Chile. Here's where Tulsa has been much better tonight compared to on Saturday night. Those passes from the back line, whether they have been on an angle to the outside, they have been far more accurate this evening than what they were on Saturday night. The service from the back line has been, well, for lack of a better words, phenomenal compared to what we've seen.
Absolutely right. Couldn't agree more. It's a difficult night against Reno. They fought back well. They were 2-0 down, got back to 2-2, and then was it 83rd minute? They concede the winners. The winner for Reno, loser for Tulsa.
Tulsa right now sitting at 77% as far as passing accuracy is concerned, and almost 70% accuracy, Dave, in the St. Louis half.
Yeah, it's been very good in the attacking sense. Pretty good defensively as well, but they've really done well, those front four, haven't they, tonight?
St. Louis hoping to hold on to possession here. Here's Dragon. Alvarez. Referee will award that to Alvarez, who is down. Looks like that he might have caught something there on the back of the head.
Well, Bronico's pleading his innocence there. I've seen him given for more than that, I guess. This is brave from Preki because he's really reshuffled the pack, hasn't he? Because, as you said, Alvarez has gone more into the middle. He was playing on the right-hand side. Appiah's gone there. Here's the foul. Here's Bronico coming across, and well, a slight foul. I think we'll give that one to the referee. Now, this is an interesting line here. Let's see if there's going to be a shot here from Alvarez.
Four-man wall for Tulsa. You can see Serta.
And the wall does its job.
Off of the deflection. Too heavy. Tries to cut towards the byline. Well done there from Young. And the Roughnecks now have earned a goal kick. Hey, Court Furniture Rental has made the Roughnecks players feel at home when they're off of the pitch. Court Furniture Rental. There when you need it and gone when you don't.
I think it's an important half, this one, for the lone striker tonight, Brian Wright. He was a bit frustrated in that last attack, and he wants a few balls just given into his feet, and he wants an opportunity on goal. It's difficult when you come into the side and you don't know the players very well, so he's got to fit in, but he is the lone striker as well, which makes it even more difficult.
This is more of what St. Louis needs. Saw how active Guzman was there and trying to link up with Appiah. Boy, well done there from Ayala. He has his hands full there in the corner.
Yeah, he has, with Appiah moving out to the left-hand side, but this is a really good piece of defending. And then he plays the ball off Appiah and gets the goal kick. It's an important night, as we said at the top of the broadcast, for Ayala, and he's done pretty well so far, Pop.
If there was one question about tonight, I think that's where both of ours were coming from when we looked at the starting 11 tonight, was Ayala in that position. Here's a corner now that will be earned. And that's not a knock against Ayala at all. It's just we are not accustomed to seeing him in that spot.
And I think he's probably been told tonight, maybe Corrales can get up more on the left-hand side, but Ayala's gone across to take the corner here. But defensively, I think he's held back tonight. He hasn't gone bombing up the right wing there as Corrales has on the left. And I think that's probably a good move, because sometimes the Roughnecks have been caught on the break and they want to hold on to this 1-0 lead. Here's a chance for a second, though, from the corner.
This is his 13th appearance for Ayala tonight. 651 minutes coming in. He does have a goal on the season. Now referee Luis Guardia chatting there with Tyr-Young.
Well, we always say that the referee always has to sort that out at least once in a game, isn't it? The pushing and shoving from a corner.
Well, I can guarantee you this, Guzman will not back down.
Right.
It's a low-driven ball towards the front post. Bronico back into the area. Jadama up in the air to try to get a piece. That was Bourgeois.
Yeah, well done, Colin Fernandez there, because that nearly got away from the Roughnecks. That was a great ball in from Bronico just then.
Yeah, it almost caught Tyr-Young by surprise. Here on the run now, Alvarez. Appia has some space, corner of the 18. 1v1 now. Now help comes over, towards the far post. A gallant effort from Appia. And Serta got just a piece of it to push it wide.
And I think this is where the Roughnecks have to be a little bit careful. You look at the space here that Appia's got, and he's got it a couple of times. So that's a good curling shot. Fabian Serta up to the task, but we've just got to be a little bit careful from the Roughnecks' point of view about the left-hand side for the St. Louis team, because they're coming at the Roughnecks here down this left-hand side.
Appia has been a difference maker for St. Louis since signing. Only the third match.
And I often say it, with the 4-2-3-1, if there is a weakness to it, it is those little pockets on the left and right wings. When you've got your middle centre two, the three have really got to work well to come back and make it into that 4-5-1, and it's not an easy job at all.
It's also, of course, the black and gold derby on Saturday with Oklahoma City making an appearance here. Their only one of the season. It's also won the first leg of the derby and will look to clinch the wrench on Saturday against the Energy. And then we will not see the Roughnecks back at ONEOK, Dave Saunders, until September 23rd when Los Dos comes to town. This is a rather lengthy road trip as we have a sub now. This will be, well, we're going to see Ja'Cory Hayes.
And it's a straight swap, I would suggest, yeah. Colin Fernandez has done another great job tonight. An hour gone, maybe, you know, half an eye on Saturday's game. He's done an hour. Give Ja'Cory Hayes half an hour. We know Ja'Cory Hayes is a class act.
Ja'Cory Hayes down from FC Dallas. And you want to talk about a difference in pace with Ja'Cory. And Ja'Cory has not been afraid at all to take on defenders.
No, going back to the schedule, it's a long wait for the next home game. But if you've never seen any baseball down here, the drillers are on fire. Come down and see some of that. I certainly do whenever I can, and it's a great spectacle, as are the Roughnecks here tonight.
This is the 5th appearance for Ja'Cory with the Roughnecks. He has appeared in one MLS match this season. Played 45 minutes against Sporting. Was a key member of that national championship team at Wake Forest. First team All-American in 2016. He was the 18th overall pick for FC Dallas.
I think Coach Vod said to you in the Pop and Vod show that the Reno game, 5 goals, was a little bit too entertaining. He said entertaining for the fans, but he said not so good when you're the coach. And I wonder now if he could take a 1-0 win after 61, he would take it.
Well, if there's one thing we know about Coach Vod, he is very unlikely to park the bus at any time. Great overlapping run. The ball tried to be slotted in there on the ground to Jacori, and a great hustle from Jacori just to beat Guzman.
And Tony Walls was in exactly the right place there for the pullback. Good defending from the St. Louis centre-back. No, that's right. You expect the Roughnecks to keep coming forward. We just don't want to concede a goal tonight, obviously. And, Appy has found a bit of space down there left, the Roughnecks right, and that would be the only place at the moment. I would say the Roughnecks have to be a little bit careful.
Curling ball in.
I love the run there from Brian Wright. He's annoyed with himself. He didn't quite get there. The defender did. That's a push from Appia. That's an easy one for the referee to give. The referee saying no more. Ayala will take his time in a free kick. But yeah, a good run from Brian Wright there, Pop.
Great run. And you can see where it came from. Right there, Dave, at an angle. He's right there in the middle of the arc. Makes that diagonal run past the front post. Oh, you love it when those strikers make the runs inside the box, don't you?
Well, we saw it at half-time, didn't we, with FC Cincinnati's goal against Mohammed. They will come to this free kick. Yeah, you talk about, coaching young strikers to take a gamble, to get there ahead of the defender, because the defender doesn't know when you're going to make that run. And if you can get there ahead, as the lad did for FC Cincinnati, you can score goals from close in, and the top strikers do it. They have a knack of being able to get there.
Fans, you can stay up to date on the latest USL news and information from around the league. Tune into USL Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, Mondays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, Channel 85. Also, don't forget Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week, as this one will result in a goal kick for St. Louis.
Talking of top strikers, we got you excited about the English Premier League, my friend, kicking off tomorrow with Arsenal-Leicester.
I was going to say, your boys open up with Leicester.
Yes, indeed. Interesting to see how Lassiette gets on for Arsenal.
My Reds will go on the road to Watford.
I mean, everybody I talk to, Pop, loves in Tulsa. They love the Roughnecks, but they also love their English Premier League. And it's great, isn't it, that you can watch the English Premier League in the morning on Saturday, and then you can come to ONEOK.
How surprised were you when you moved here to find the little pockets of fans as we see the replay here?
Very, very. But there are fan clubs all over the country, aren't there, of the top teams. But I am passionate about everybody getting behind their local team. Have your English Premier League side, or even lower down in the divisions. I know people that support clubs that lower down from the English Premier League, but please get behind your clubs, like FC Cincinnati do with the sellout crowds, and like the Roughnecks. They've got a professional team here to come and watch.
Even if it's Tottenham?
All right, well, let's draw the line somewhere.
Here's Rivas with the turn. Hit directly at Gorick, who, even though he conceded the goal in the 24th minute, as we mentioned at halftime, has virtually kept St. Louis in this match. Have another sub for St. Louis coming up here in a few moments.
But what was also good was, as you know, I got to spend a little bit of time, about 4 days, with Swansea City from the English Premier League, and they played Richmond Kickers, and that was a good game. It was a good game there. That finished 2-1 to Swansea. Richmond kickers playing very, very well. And then they went to North Carolina, 0-0 draw. You know, and the standard is certainly improving in this country as Mr. Preki makes another substitution.
Yeah,
you know,
this is Seth Rudolph, by the way, for Max Alvarez.
It's good. So, you know, it's going in the right direction.
Appia now. Here in the 66th. Serta got a piece of it. It did fall there on the backside to Ali Hadic.
Yeah, Serta did enough there and palmed it into the St. Louis player, so it's off now for a goal kick. Serta's had an interesting night. He's not had a lot to save. He's palmed a few, punched a few. It's been an interesting night for the keeper.
Of course, if you're watching at home on your view here locally, make sure you check out the website, roughnecksfc.com, 744-5901 for the tickets to the Black and Gold Derby on Saturday. And Oklahoma City has crept their way back up into the standings, haven't they, Dave?
They have. They had a bad spell, didn't they? And they have certainly got themselves back into it. And it's, you know, it's a pretty vital game, isn't it, on Saturday? You know, both teams in and around the same area, and it's going to be a real fight for that, you know, what, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th place. You know, the top three look pretty set, although things can change, can't they, very, very quickly.
St. Louis on the season overall -11 in goal differential. Will explain the struggles that most of their fans are well accustomed to so far this season, and there was maybe the best opportunity of the second half that goes by the wayside. Tulsa, by the way, +3 in goal differential.
I think Rivas has just dropped a little bit more defensively just to help out Ayala there with Appia, because that's been the most danger, I think, from the speedy Appia down the left-hand side. Just go back to the playoff places. You know, we know the arguments are rumbling on about promotion relegation, but to me the best thing that ever happened to football in England was the playoff system coming in. And don't ask me what year it was, but you know, because it keeps so many more teams interested.
Oh, Ayala.
Great play from Ayala there, but just overdid it in the end, and T. Young couldn't get there, and that's good play from the keeper, Gorek, who came out and took a confident catch.
By far one of the better games that we've seen from Jaime Ayala.
Yeah, he's done himself no harm tonight. Of course, Kosuke's out for a little while, isn't he? So the right back spot, you could say, arguably, is up for grabs.
Guzman had his hands full. Here's Brian Wright. The ball from the back line, Bright. Oh, Wright just bowls over a defender. Calistri turns and slots it into the back of the net. Joey Calistri, from right at the penalty spot, has put Tulsa in front. 2-0. Here in the 70th minute, it's number 7, Joey Calistri, on loan from the Chicago Fire.
Well, that was sheer perseverance from Brian Wright. I'm so pleased for him, because he's ploughed a lone furrow up there tonight, you know, in the number 9 shirt. He gets the ball on the right-hand side, just shrugged off the defender. There he is, pulls back the perfect ball. That's a lovely touch from Calistri there. Get away from the defender, gets a little bit lucky because it did hit Tony Walls as it goes in. But this is Brian Wright all over. Brilliant assist from him. Beautiful ball back. There's the touch from Calistri. You'll see Walls come in with it and just hits his foot, goes past the keeper. Fully deserved for the Roughnecks. They lead by 2-0. But credit Calistri, but also credit Brian Wright. That's sheer perseverance and strength.
Did that hit Walls or did that hit Guzman?
I thought it was Mr. Walls.
Well, that's goal number 6 for Joey Calistri.
But, you know, Brian Wright there, I mean, he just shrugged off the defender, as all great strikers do, you know, and persevered. There's going to be another substitution for the Roughnecks, we'll tell you about in a moment, but that was great play. And then the pullback was a fantastic pullback as well, really good.
This will be Corrales and Aaron Guillen.
And I think that's sensible. You know, again, 20 minutes to go. I mean, Roughnecks 2-0 up. They don't want to, you know, they want to see this one out. They want to get the 3 points, of course, but they are keeping one eye on the fact they've got to rotate the squad because they've got another game in 48 hours.
Now, the Roughnecks have the affiliation with Chicago, but Aaron Guillen is another member of FC Dallas that is on loan. This is the second appearance for Guillen. First appearance was last Saturday. Appia now taking on 2 Roughnecks players, including Ja'Cory Hayes.
There's Ayala again. Really good plays. Played really well tonight, Jaime Ayala.
Guillen first joined FC Dallas Academy in 2006, played at Florida Gulf Coast. That's Dunk City, by the way, Dave, if you don't know.
Thank you.
They made a run in the NCAA tournament and became famous.
You like to educate me, my friend?
Joined the Dallas MLS side in January of 2016 as a homegrown player. He's made 8 total appearances, 4 starts this season for FC Dallas.
Good player.
Good player.
Good player.
Of course, always enjoy FC Dallas. My good friend Mark Followell, play-by-play.
We enjoyed our time in the Open Cup down there at SMU, didn't we?
Yeah, Westcott.
Good game. Roughnecks going down to a very late 2-1 defeat.
Boy, creative there, but another shot that's hit directly at Fabian Serta. Able to handle that one easily.
Yeah,
and here's one thing that you can say about the Roughneck defense, Dave, is that not only are these shots from distance, but they're making them work for every opening. There is nothing that is coming easy for St. Louis FC tonight.
And I think that's a very good point you make, and I'm sure they've worked on that because, as we know, Coach Vod's, what he said at the beginning of the season, what he wants to average less than 1 goal a game, isn't it? Conceded, is that what he said?
That is what he said, and currently right now, not necessarily up to where he wants. Here's Brian Wright. Brian Wright's ball is deflected.
Well, and that's good from Ja'Cory Hayes and Joey Calistri. They know the importance of having the lone striker there shooting on goal. They both went up and kind of slapped his hand and said, good on you, mate. You know, that was a good piece of possession. Again, he got the effort in the end out with his right foot, and it was deflected away for another Roughnecks corner.
Roughnecks right now, opponent scoring average at 1.3, so hovering around. Shutout here tonight would help. Good curling ball. Rivas. Rivas had visions of grandeur with that ball that trickled out. I'd like to welcome everyone in St. Louis watching tonight's match. And of course I would mention Mitch from This Is Silly Pod. Why wouldn't I? '75th minute in a game that has been all orange so far this evening at ONEOK. Possession starting to even out a little bit, Dave. 52% for Tulsa. Here's a foul in the middle third. Grant Bronico, the guilty party.
Yeah, they've had a bit more possession, haven't they, St. Louis? And they keep shuffling things around. They're going to put AJ Cochran up there now for this free kick. Try and get this one into the box. Going to be Appia with it.
Curling ball towards the back post. Headed out of the box. Tulsa now. Look at that run from Tyryoung. On a dead sprint, just a tad bit heavy. But good effort and vision from Tyryoung as they were battling on the byline.
Yeah, good battle. Nothing wrong with that. Referee ran over there as well just to check everything's all right. Both players, nobody moaned, got on with it. Good, hard-fought soccer. Certainly Seth Rudolph, the last sub to come on, the number 2, has gone up front. Appy, if anything, Appy has gone sort of more central. Rudolph is just drifting out to the left, but it's quite attacking now from St. Louis.
Did I ever tell you my Preki story from his time in Kansas City with the Wizards at the time?
No.
We were coming back from US Cup in Blaine, Minnesota. It's a quite large youth tournament that's played where the Minnesota Thunder, also the Minnesota Stars, and Minnesota United for a period of time played just outside of Minneapolis in Blaine. International tournament. And on the way back, we as a team stopped in Kansas City at Arrowhead, and there was a rain delay. And at the time, Preki played for Kansas City, and one of my other favorite players, and I want to see if you remember him, Vitalis Digital Takawara from Zimbabwe, whose goal celebration was the digital crawl. And we did the digital crawl at a tournament in Minnesota. And I think there were several members that got booked because of that celebration. But during the rain delay, there were 4 members of our entourage that decided they wanted to run out onto the field. It was heavy rain. The field was, there were puddles in the field everywhere. And we did at the time what we called the Free Willy, the belly slide, out in the middle of the surface at Arrowhead, while Preki watched from just inside the tunnel.
Coach Preki, of course, who played as well in England for Everton. I think I'm right in saying he was once bought for a tenner, which is £10. And he also played for Portsmouth, who now languish in the lower leagues, of course, having been a First Division club.
Got a hydration break.
Interesting. We didn't have one in the first half. Has it warmed up or something, Pop?
Doesn't feel like it. Referee just might have needed a quick splash as well, Dave.
Yeah. Can I say as well, I wish everybody the best who was involved in the tornado. There we are, looking out on the pitch. You and I, we had a beer after the game, my friend. We went home and to our respective homes, woke up in the morning to hear that there'd been an August tornado. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable during this time of the year, and only the 3rd tornado recorded in Tulsa County in the month of August. The previous 2 were in the 50s. We had several people affected here in the city. I believe 30 or so injured.
Yes.
But there is a stretch of, shopping district area that was hammered here. And thank goodness there were no severe injuries or deaths. Everyone made it out okay, but that was scary. And I know a lot of people that lived in that area that said that it just came out of nowhere. There was no warning. As a matter of fact, it developed in less than 60 seconds, according to the local weather station. And EF2 with 135 mile-per-hour winds.
Yeah,
so all of our thoughts out to the businesses that were affected.
Absolutely.
Soccer fans, Nike is the official sponsor of the USL. For more information, you can visit NikeSoccer.com. I'm not so sure if I like that shot from behind us, Dave.
No, I was just thinking that, my friend, although some of my friends say that is my better side from behind me.
I was thinking to myself, is my back truly that wide? Oh, great ball from Calistri. Guillen on the run from the outside. Well, Calistri somehow was able to keep that in play. No, now the official will say throw in.
What it does give us a chance. We'll have a chat with Alan about that behind shot. But again, we say, Pop, what a fantastic crew we've got here. We say it every time, and we mean it genuinely every time. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for providing the pictures for us. And, of course, everybody watching in here in this wonderful game between Tulsa and St. Louis.
Yeah, Alan, Mitch, Dave, Rohan, all on the camera tonight. Nice turn from Rivas. A little bit upset with himself. On the ball wide, looking for Calistri.
And I'm sure the players appreciate it as well, because Mr. Corrales has got something for his show reel tonight, hasn't he? But that terrific goal. He had to save that one.
Juan Pablo Caffa's free kick goal was one of the goals of the week, and I would assume now on a Thursday that Corrales will find himself back in the highlights.
Becoming a bit of a habit now, isn't it, at ONEOK?
It is.
Getting the goals of the week.
You know, I do want to comment on St. Louis for a few seconds as Ayala plays another great ball in, and Gorick down there just in front of the post. That was Brian Wright. And that's 3 or 4 fantastic service balls from Ayala this evening, curling just perfectly.
Yeah, I think it came off the defender walls, didn't it? And keeper had it covered, but well done to him. But there's Brian Wright shot.
That's one area that St. Louis has struggled in, is winning balls in the air. I mean, Tyler David has been one of the only guys that has shown signs to do that consistently, but Brian Wright has gotten to several. And there's Jadama with another opportunity.
Ayala slipped there as he took that corner, but the Roughnecks keep coming at St. Louis here.
Back to St. Louis. You know, you look at that region of the country, and I was disappointed with the stadium vote for downtown, because I truly felt like that great city that has such a brilliant, you know, soccer culture to it. I thought that they could be one of the next call-ups for MLS, and unfortunately for them, it just hasn't worked out. But I just look at St. Louis, and I know a lot of their fans feel the same way. Frustration, obviously, with the last couple of years and not off to the start that they wanted to, but still within striking distance, question mark, of making it into the top 8 there in the East. And not that would be an easy road there in the East. Same thing with the Roughnecks here, depending on their positioning. I mean, it's going to be difficult, but you at least give yourself a chance. And I'm not giving up on St. Louis in the Eastern Conference yet.
Couldn't agree more. You know, I think I'm right in saying they had a 4-game winning streak at the beginning of the season, then they went 5 without winning. It's been a strange old season for them. Of course, they've been up against some tough teams as well. You know, FC Cincinnati, to name one. You know, and so it's not been easy for them. But I think you're right. There's still, and this is the great thing about the playoffs, as I was saying earlier, as the Roughnecks come forward again.
Ja'Cory keeps it from going over the byline. You've got just help there from Guzman.
You've got so many teams that are in it right up until the last pop, you know, fighting for those top 8. It's the playoffs that are the best thing.
The back 4 for the Roughnecks this evening has been fantastic. Very few opportunities for St. Louis, feeling that they were legitimate opportunities.
And it's still been an entertaining game for the crowd, hasn't it? I mean, if you're a Roughnecks fan in particular, they've been brilliant coming forward. But what they've done is they've just taken the sting out of it in this second half. They knew that St. Louis were going to come at them second half, couple of substitutions, but they've held firm at the back. Still 5 minutes to go, though, my friend.
Here's Howe. Across, and St. Louis gets one back. Boy, credit Ryan Howe there. From the byline, the left-footed ball directly across the mouth of the goal. And St. Louis now has pulled one back here in the 86th minute. And we have a game once again, my friend.
We do indeed. We do indeed. And that was a great ball from Howe. Look at this, with pace. And in the end, it comes off Jadama. And St. Louis will take it gratefully. But that is, you know, you either pull the ball back or you float it in from across, or you do exactly what Howe did there, and you drive it in hoping that somebody or something will get on the end of it.
Doesn't take much, does it?
Does not. Flies in the back of the net. 2-1, game on.
Yeah, credit Howe. That was just pure effort on his part. So we will see now how this will energize St. Louis.
And we haven't seen Howe in that position much in this game. So
no, we have not.
Here he comes again, though.
Cuts back to the inside, tries to set himself up on the left boot. Good defending from Tulsa. And now we have a defender that is down. I believe that's Ayala, who is holding his right ankle. Howe one more time with the cross. Oh, danger. Sliding through there on the backside, almost got to it. And the Roughnecks are living dangerously. Ayala is up, by the way. This will be a foul from behind as Brian Wright picks himself up off of the ONEOK Field turf. Gives us an opportunity also to remind you as we'll see this ball from Howe. Jadama got to it first.
Yeah, to be fair to him, that's pretty good because, you know, it was he must have thought, oh, here we go again as the ball came in from Ryan Howe again. But that time he got it away. Well done, Jadama.
Stay up to date with the latest USL news and information from around the league. Mike Watts has a show, Coast to Coast with Mike Watts, 9 p.m. Eastern on Sirius XM FC, channel 85. St. Louis now on the counter. Roughnecks players trying to get back in numbers. Guzman back for Howe. Also, channel 85, Sirius XM FC will air the USL Game of the Week. You can go to uslsoccer.com for dates and times.
Roughnecks won't mind this now. It's just getting a little bit untidy out there, but they won't mind this too much. They'll slow things down now. There's, what, 2 minutes of the 90 left, plus the board. Little niggly fouls, and they won't mind that because obviously St. Louis want, from their point of view, want the momentum to continue.
Case & Associates makes the Roughnecks players feel at home when they're not on the pitch. For all of your apartment needs, make sure to check out caseusa.com. You know who's been super quiet tonight, Dave, has been Volesky. Not much out of the number 9 at all. Oh, a Meg in the box from Brian Wright.
Well, just for a moment when there you thought he was going to go through the whole of the St. Louis defense there, Brian Wright. He's really grown into the game, Pop. Look at this. He's so strong. You know, he really is so strong.
And that is some of the comments that you saw from New England and why they drafted him. Not only do they feel like that he can be a goal scorer, hold the ball up, but his possession inside the box in that space, which is a tight space, they feel like that in the long run he could be a difference maker.
Yeah, I mean, big, strong, and he's got an eye for goal. And as I said, he's grown into the game. He had a quiet first half, didn't get a lot of the ball. It's gone down there. It's only a throw-in. And we've got 4 minutes to be added on, my friend.
I was going to play the game with you because they told me in my ear, but I didn't.
No, I
didn't
know
ask
that
you in
trick
enough time.
now. I know that trick. Brian Wright's just upset that he got a bash in the back of the leg there.
Been a well-played game between both these teams.
Dave Vaudreuil has experience with Preki. They played against each other in indoor, and Vaud's responsibility was trying to mark guys like Preki. Are you familiar with Tattoo from the Dallas Sidekicks?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, Vaudreuil, Dave, during the coaches show and on the Pop and Vaude pod, explained how that was his first experience with Preki, was in the indoor game. And then they were also together there with Bob Bradley in Salt Lake with Chivas.
Well, I know that Preki was well loved at both the aforementioned Everton and Portsmouth, England. So, yeah, he's had an experienced career, hasn't he, both playing and coaching.
Hoping to bring that championship feeling to St. Louis, same way that he did with Sacramento.
And that, again, is Brian Wright holding the ball up there. He's just got to be a little bit careful here. He's getting pushed and pulled around.
Yeah, that's Brian and Octavio right there in the middle of it. Of course, they just had on the opposite corner little words back and forth.
But again, if you're St. Louis, you don't want to get involved with any of that. You want to get the ball forward, as they have just then, looking for an equaliser.
This 3 points is going to go a long way for Tulsa here in the West.
And we'll set up that match. OKC will have a game in hand as long as Tulsa can hang on here in the waning moments. Got about 60 seconds left.
Dangerous. Guzman. Simple ball inside the box towards the PK spot. Volesky was in the area. Serta comes way off of his line. 3 players hit the turf. And this one by no means is through yet. Look at that ball.
Well done, the Roughnecks, for standing firm. Kitchen sink time. He's happy with the corner.
The header. So on the ground.
Well,
and how in the world did Fabian Serta make that save? St. Louis thought that they had scored, and so did I, quite frankly. But Fabian Serta, that ball was underneath one leg, and it looked like as he was on the ground, his left leg was there along the goal line, actually stopping it from going in.
And that was the last action, Pop. And I can tell you there were fans standing up and applauding Fabian Serta there, because he did extremely well. Very, very brave to get down and save that one. And it is a 2-1 victory for the Tulsa Roughnecks.
Right there. Right between the legs as it hit Fabian Serta in the backside. And that will be your save of the game. The most important one in the most crucial moment.
Yeah, credit St. Louis. They really threw everything at the Roughnecks at the end there. Serta with a good save. There's Ayala, who's had a good game for me tonight at right back. Pop did well, very well defensively. Took some corners as well. And there's Serta with a big smile, because he knows he kept his side to give them the 3 points.
Credit to St. Louis, who never gave up. See Calistri there going over and shaking hands.
And there's Corrales, who got that thunderbolt for that first goal. Calistri, who was in shot just before that, of course, got the second goal.
This game continues to grow, Dave. Another example of why this is the most prominent second division professional league in the world. The game's top talent, rising stars. You can stay up to date with all the league news and information by visiting uslsoccer.com and follow them on Twitter at USL. We'll head down on the field. Angel Garcia is standing by with the head coach of the Roughnecks, Dave Vaudreuil. Take it away, Angel.
Buenas noches, David. Una victoria justa, ¿no?
Sí, pero tengo mucho como nervios. Estamos como mujeres en ataque de borde nervios. Está 2-1 y estoy sufriendo, el equipo está sufriendo para 94 minutos porque no estamos muy bien en frente del arco. Y 1 o 2 errores en frente nuestro y es muy cerca para empatar este partido, pero estoy contento que tenemos 3 puntos y ahorita tenemos que descansar y discutir tácticamente cómo vamos a jugar contra Oklahoma City en sábado.
Lo más importante, los 3 puntos, la victoria.
Sí, siempre estamos muy felices, pero tenemos que manejar el partido un poco más inteligente.
Y lo peor quizás, la lesión de Juan Pablo Cafa.
Sí, yo creo que quizás una semana y mitad no es muy grave, pero no, yo creo que no van a jugar en sábado y por eso tenemos que balancear el equipo y hay 1 o 2 tipos que necesitan jugar y hacer todo para el equipo.
Lo mejor la afición para este sábado, ¿no? Para el derbi.
Sí, es el derbi, el superclásico para nosotros. Ganó en visitante, pero ellos están mejorando mucho. Cambió tácticamente la formación y yo creo que van a estar una pelea muy difícil. Ellos van a luchar para todo.
Muchas gracias, David.
Last-minute loss against Reno 1868 on Saturday. Your team, there's a little bit of a turnaround tonight. Your team comes out here with an impressive attacking showing. How would you describe this win for your team tonight?
Yeah, I mean, in general, I thought we played very well, but you leave them hanging around the very difficult 2-0 scoreline. It's always dangerous, and they made it really crazy for us at the end, and we're all suffering for 94 minutes and hoping that we hold on because I think we deserve the 3 points. But St. Louis is smart. They kept the game close. They kept in it. They worked hard, and they probably deserved the goal because we were too many set pieces and the balls flowing on. It could go anywhere. So, but obviously we're very happy. Get a chance to rest and discuss now with the right mentality going into Saturday against Oklahoma City.
Exactly, and you took the words right out of my mouth. Now we're shifting our focus to this big game against the Oklahoma City Energy. It's the second meeting, and we know the Roughnecks took that first meeting in the Black and Gold Derby. What is exactly the mentality for your guys going into this big rivalry game?
Well, the biggest factor is that they've been playing very well. They changed their formation. They've tactically been much stronger on defense, and they've gotten a bunch of wins. So we expect them to come here with confidence, and this is a place they've had a lot of success in the past, and we have to come out and play our very best. And I think now we understand that it's a real rivalry, and I'm sure we'll have plenty of enthusiasm, energy for the game. And there's guys that got a lot of rest, so we should have decent energy for the game. So I expect it to be a great game, but I expect us to be in a position to go out there and do like we did today and dominate the game and put some goals on the board and come away with 3 points.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Coach. Best of luck to you on Saturday.
All right, thank you, Paige. And thank you, Coach Vaught, for the comments after the game. A 2-1 win over St. Louis. Yeah, it's Bark in the Park night. You see one of the dogs that happen to be in attendance here this evening. 2-1 is your final with St. Louis and Tulsa. Well, it wasn't pretty at the end, but they were able to hang on. Never a doubt in the world, Dave.
Never a doubt. Commentator's curse, wasn't it, when we were 2-0 up? And credit to Lewis, they came back a little bit. But I think overall, Pop, I felt that Tulsa were in control of the 90 minutes.
It felt like more than a 2-0 or a 2-1 lead at times is what it felt like.
Yeah, and I think Coach, you know, he said to you in the show in the week, you know, the game against Rena was far too entertaining for his like. It was great for the fans. But I think tonight, at times, it wasn't pretty, but it was good defensively tonight. And we talked about that. They were able to shut the opposition down. You know, they scored a couple of good goals. They were great going forward. I think it's been a good all-round night. And it sets them up beautifully now for the next game, which, of course, we know is the Black and Gold Derby.
Let's check out some of the highlights from the action tonight at ONEOK Field. As St. Louis made the trip down I-44 here at ONEOK. And in the first half, the Roughnecks got things started early. This is in the first 2 minutes, and it was Tyryoung who tested Gorick early. And that was the first of many opportunities tonight for Christian Tyryoung.
Yeah, he had a great game. You know, second half ran out of steam just a little bit, but this was a great ball from the aforementioned Tyryoung, and here Rivas gave the keeper the eye, but just dragged it wide.
Here's great defending from Tulsa. You talked about that central defender coming over to help out and clean up the mistake from the outside defender, and it really benefited Tulsa. Here could be one of the goals of the week. It's Corrales with the screamer from distance. And the keeper did not have a chance.
Tell you what, good job that net was there. That ball would still be travelling now, Pop. That was a fantastic effort, but the chances kept on coming. It was a great first half, in particular, chances-wise for the Roughnecks. This was a good save by the keeper, to be fair. Got down well, turned it away for another corner. And here's Rivas again, curling left-foot shot. And then on the follow-up, the Roughnecks kept coming back. Here's the follow-up. This is just a few seconds later. Here's Fernandez feeding in Tyryoung, and he curls a shot just wide.
Great build-up from Tulsa in their attempts. Here's maybe the best opportunity in the first half for St. Louis, and it was directly at Corrales. Now in the second half, we open things up with a near goal from Tulsa.
Yeah, that's Tyryoung dragging one wide, and the Roughnecks, they really wanted a second goal. They really went after this second goal. This was great defending by one of the unsung heroes of the night, Ayala, at right back. But here's the sheer persistence from right. Great touch there from Calistri, showing his class. Comes off the defender, and 2-0. And at that, you know, you just felt really Calistri with that touch there, getting that second goal. The Roughnecks were in total control.
Sixth goal of the season for Calistri, and credit Brian Wright as well. Speaking of Brian Wright,
almost there off of the deflection. And Ayala, who in my opinion could be one of the candidates for player of the game. Another great curling ball into the box. Serta here with the save to save the day, as St. Louis is turned away at the very end. And Tulsa will come away with 3 points. Fabian Serta is going to be man of the match down on the pitch. I think Serta, Rivas, Ayala could all be in the discussion for man of the match here tonight. Well, a big 3 points, Dave, heading into Saturday against Oklahoma City in the Black and Gold Derby.
Yeah, I think they've set it up really nicely now, haven't they? It was always going to be a difficult one, this, because everybody's really got their eyes with respect to St. Louis on OKC. It's always a great night here at ONEOK. Get down here and support the lads. 7:30 kickoff. But, you know, tonight they've gone away with the 3 points. They kind of, you know, they were in control. I think I'll use that phrase again. I think if you're a St. Louis fan, you probably have to agree that, you know, Tulsa for most of the night were in control. Credit your team, though. I thought they came at the Roughnecks. Preki made some good changes to the formation. He wasn't afraid to make changes. They got their goal. It was an own goal in the end. And then that save by Serta just about kept the points in there for Tulsa. And I think you're right. I think the fans are giving it to Rivas and Serta joint, maybe the man of the match.
Final score 2-1. Tulsa with the win here this evening. I want to say thank you to all of you for tuning in tonight, and to the great crew here at ONEOK. Alan, Greg, everyone in the production room, Alan and Mitch and Dave, Rohan on the cameras, and to those of you at home as well. For my partner, Dave Saunders, good job tonight, my friend. See you back here in 48 hours.
Cannot wait, my friend. Bring it on.
I'm Jeremy Poplin. Final score for the final time. Roughnecks win 2-1 over St. Louis FC. And we'll see you back at ONEOK Field Saturday nights as we welcome the Oklahoma City Energy to Tulsa. Have a good night from all of us at Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer.
I am Jeremy Poplin, joined by the head coach of the Tulsa Roughnecks, Dave Vaudrell. You saw him grow and the conversations that you had with the Fire, now with Calistri going back to Chicago.
As the game went along, I thought we did very well. We moved the ball very quickly. He's consistently the guy getting the most opportunities and the most assist opportunities for us. So.
Your Tulsa Roughnecks return home on August 10th and 12th for a pair of matches with playoff implications. Join us on Thursday, August 10th, as we battle St. Louis FC on $5 Thursday night, where all tickets are $5 off. Then it's round 2 of the Black and Gold Derby, as the boys look to make it 2 in a row against in-state rival OKC Energy FC on Saturday, August 12th. Kickoff is set for 7:30 both nights. Visit roughnecksfc.com today to buy and print your tickets from home. Your Tulsa Roughnecks return home on August 10th and 12th for a pair of matches with playoff implications. Join us on Thursday, August 10th, as we battle St. Louis FC on $5 Thursday night, where all tickets are $5 off. Then it's round 2 of the Black and Gold Derby, as the boys look to make it 2 in a row against in-state rival OKC Energy FC on Saturday, August 12th. Kickoff is set for 7:30 both nights. Visit roughnecksfc.com today to buy and print your tickets from home.
Former driller and 2004 Minor League Player of the Year, Jeff Francis, is coming back to ONEOK Field. Be here on Thursday, August 17th to get your Jeff Francis t-shirt and a chance to get an autograph from the former driller great. T-shirts for the first 1,000 fans, brought to you by Fox 23 and Mix 96.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.